Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from darkness unto light. Lead us from death to immortality. Om, peace, peace, peace. Namaste and good morning. It's a particularly cold day. Winter is already here, one feels. And so here are the brave souls who have come up here. Good. You must have seen the subject for this morning's talk. Somebody was saying it's always the same talk. Well, again, you're right. It is the same talk, but different occasions, different prompts for it. The subject is always awake. Always awake. And I thought that's a particularly apt subject for Manhattan, for New York, the city that never sleeps. The prompt for this particular talk today was something that we were reading with Swami Adbhutanandaji. Swami Adbhutananda, was a direct disciple of Sri Ramakrishna. And Sri Ramakrishna used to call him Latu, or he would sometimes say in his Bengali accent, Leto, he would say. And Swami Vivekananda later teased him by calling him Plato. The reason being, Latu Maharaj, Adbhutanandaji, was completely unlettered. He never studied anything, so Vivekananda called him Plato. And he is one of the miracles of Sri Ramakrishna in the sense that this person, who was completely unlettered, completely uneducated, became a Brahmagyani, enlightened person, realized the real nature that I am Brahman. So he was a personal attendant to Sri Ramakrishna, was in fact the first two of the direct disciples to come to Sri Ramakrishna. And so here's this very touching incident. Once, Latu was tired after a day's hard work, but he was fanning Sri Ramakrishna. And even though he was asleep, he was still fanning. Sri Ramakrishna saw that and half seriously and half teasingly asked him, Leto, does God sleep? What do you think? Does God sleep? And Latu Maharaj, Adbhutanandaji, was a little puzzled by this. He said, I never thought about it. Does he? Does God sleep? And Sri Ramakrishna said, no. If God would sleep, these are exact words, very precise. If God would sleep, the universe would be plunged into darkness and it would dissolve. The universe would be plunged into darkness and it would dissolve. Those who are trained in Advaita will immediately see the resonances with Chit, consciousness, Sat, being, existence itself. The universe would be plunged into darkness and then it would resolve. It would dissolve. And then he added, from a devotional perspective, God is always awake. He lulls his creatures into sleep, and while they sleep, he protects them and takes care of them. So beautifully said. God, he lulls us into sleep, and while we sleep, Sri Ramakrishna said, he keeps them safe. He keeps us safe. Of course, Sri Ramakrishna, this is the English translation I'm reading out to you, I'm quoting. He would have meant she, this is the mother. She keeps us safe and protects us. That reminded me of this beautiful incident which Swami Sarvapriyananda, Gopesh Maharaj has reported. He was a disciple of Ma Sharada, the Holy Mother. This is in Jairambati, the village home of the Holy Mother, where there's a beautiful ashrama now. At that time also the ashrama was there already, around the home of the Holy Mother. There would be devotees, visitors from other parts of Calcutta and India, and there would be the monks also living around. And Ma Sharada with her close family members also would be there. So one incident, one night, this Swami Sarvapriyananda, who was a young monk at that time, he says, I heard some sound in the dead of the night. Something strange, some scraping sound. So I got up to check what was going on. And I came out into the courtyard. So those who have gone to Jairambati will recognize that. Outside the huts, there's the courtyard. And I saw in the darkness Holy Mother, Ma Sharada Devi, in the dead of the night, with a tray and a broom. She was doing something. I asked her, Mother, what are you doing in this dead of the night? And she said, those pots, broken pieces of pots, potsherds, they are there scattered here and there. My children will walk. They used to walk barefoot in those days. The children will walk across this courtyard and their feet may be hurt. At night, she's got up to clean that. So that next morning when her children, all of the others, when they walk around, they will not be hurt. While they were sleeping, she was taking care of them. And this monk, he writes, tears came to my eyes when I watched her. Of course, I rushed to help her, but tears came to my eyes. He said, Mother, let us do it. Said, no, my child, it is my job. It is what I have to do for you. So this is symbolic. And he says, tears came to my eyes when I rushed to help her, and I thought, this is the ancient and divine mother of the universe who works tirelessly and guides her children from life to death to life again, in life after life, this journey to up to spiritual realization, enlightenment and freedom. She works tirelessly. I was reminded of two of my favorite hymns, very beautiful Christian hymns, and Christmas is very close by. So I thought, most of us, we know these hymns. One is Lead Kindly Light. It was Mahatma Gandhi's favorite, Lead Kindly Light. Another one, of course, is the famous Abide With Me. I thought I'll read out. I haven't memorized it, so I just wrote the lines down. Some of it, which resonates really. One is, of course, Lead Kindly Light, very famous, John Henry Newman, Anglican Church, Catholic Church actually. He wrote it in England, and it's one of the most beloved Christian hymns. So Mahatma Gandhi loved it. I was reading up on it. It seems when the Titanic sank, those who survived, they were rescued. When they were rescued, they were singing this, Lead Kindly Light. They were in the boat. They were floating in the boat in the ocean. So the lines go like this. Lead kindly light amid the encircling gloom. Lead thou me on. The night is dark and I'm far from home. Lead thou me on. Keep thou my feet. These are very famous lines. I do not ask to see the distant scene. One step enough for me. So we don't see the end, the end of all of this. What will happen after death? What will happen when we become enlightened? And he says very beautifully, I don't even need to see that. Just one step. Show me light for one step ahead of me, and I will take step by step. Lead kindly light amid the encircling gloom. He said, darkness is descending and I'm far from home. That's all our condition. That's our condition, basically. Darkness descending, night is coming, death is coming. Mahatma Gandhi loved this one, Lead Kindly Light. And the other one also is very moving. It's a Scottish hymn, actually. A Scottish pastor wrote it, but it's famous worldwide now. Abide with me. Abide with me, fast falls the eventide. The darkness deepens, Lord. With me abide. When other helpers fail and comforts flee, help of the helpless, oh, abide with me. So darkness deepens, Lord, and with me abide. When all help fails, you are the helper of the helpless. With me abide. And the next lines are particularly evocative. Swift to its close, ebbs out life's little day. Now, darkness is coming again. But I was in Scotland just a couple of weeks ago. And I understand, you see, if you see the Scottish Highlands in winter, you understand what they're talking about, what the pastor is talking about. The days are little there, life's little day. And darkness descends very fast with a ferocity which you don't see anywhere else. And this cold and dark and windy, and extremely, sort of, you feel enveloped in the darkness outside. Life's little day. So life is compared to a little day. Earth's joys grow dim, its glories pass away. Change and decay in all around I see. O thou who changest not, abide with me. Then I'll skip ahead. The next lines are very famous. Where is death's sting? Where, grave, thy victory? I triumph still if thou abide with me. Even death is nothing. I am reminded of this monk who so beautifully he said, तो स्वामी जी कहीं कोई मृत्यु नहीं, कहीं कोई अंधकार नहीं. He said जड़ता, कहीं कोई जड़ता नहीं, कहीं कोई दुख नहीं. So, O monk, there is no death anywhere, no darkness anywhere, no sorrow anywhere. We realize that realization. It says, I triumph if thou abide with me. If that reality, if we have that. And very beautifully concludes, in life, in death, O Lord, abide with me. So I was reminded of these two. The themes are the same. Evening, night, sleep, darkness, the end of life itself, death, and the presence of God as light, which is awake. There is something that is awake in darkness, also in light also. In our days and nights, in our life and death, something awakes. And if we can perchance catch hold of that, then immortal life is our own. Even the chant which we did just to begin this, from darkness lead us to light, from the unreal to the real, from death to immortality. So this is what we will explore today. What happened in the story next is very interesting. One day, Latu Maharaj was sitting near Sri Ramakrishna in the evening and he was drowsy. Sri Ramakrishna said, "Fie on you. You, in this precious, auspicious hour of the evening, you're dozing. You should meditate so deeply that the night passes away unnoticed. How can you waste this time?" And Latu Maharaj, he says later on, Swami Adbhutanandaji, I felt overcome with remorse. I felt that I have got the company of such a one. And I am spending my days in vain. I'm feeling sleepy. I'm not meditating on God. And so this is the difference between him and the rest of us, I think. Why these people become saints and the rest of us don't. We are also all inspired. But our inspiration is like a flash in the pan. It comes and it goes. What Latu Maharaj did was, he said, immediately I got up. I splashed water on my face and I walked up and down on the bank of the Ganga until my body got heated up and I lost all sleep, came and sat next to him. And he says the fight was terrible because I again felt sleepy afterwards. Again I got up and walked until it went away. Like this, he said, he didn't sleep the whole night. He prayed and he meditated. And he said the battle went on night after night until one day sleep was gone and gone forever. Swami Sarvapriyananda says for the rest of his life, we never saw Latu Maharaj sleep at night. He slept in the day. Sometimes you'd catch a nap now and then, power nap. But till the end of his life, from that time onwards, all night he would meditate and pray. I'm reminded of the story of Saint Francis, where a rich man, in the early days in Assisi, a rich man wanted to see whether he's truly a saint or not, and invited him for him and his other brothers, monastic brothers, for a meal at night to his home. And so after the night food, the rich man wanted to see what this Saint Francis would do. And he said, "All right, good night then." And he went off to the bedroom which was given to him and jumped on the bed and started snoring. Now, this rich man, however, was alert. He waited and watched, spied. After some time, he saw when the whole house became quiet, Saint Francis quietly crept out of bed. And he knelt down in prayer and he whispered, "My Lord, my God, my Lord, my God," all night long. Till morning came, when he jumped on his bed again and started snoring again. So, others will not know. Only between me and God. And this rich man, the next day, he said, I'm giving up everything. I will become a monk. I will follow you. And he became one of St. Francis's first followers, among the first group of monks. Swami Vivekananda himself, he found it difficult to sleep at night. Swami Turiyanandaji says that he says about his own days in Uttarkashi, Rishikesh, when he went there to the Himalayas. He made a little, as the monks used to do in those days. Now you have permanent cottages made of brick and cement, but they used to make cottages out of branches and twigs and leaf. Parnokuti, they say, used to make that. And he made one of those, and he would live there. And he says what days they were. Meditating, then early morning when the time came, he would go for a bath in the Ganga there. Very cold water, like this. But the difference is, here it's at least we have heating inside. There, what is outside is also inside the hut. And then I would go for begging for one meal of the day, come back. Then he says the whole of the daytime would be spent in studying Vedanta. That's where I memorized the Upanishads and the Bhagavad Gita. As night fell, no electricity. So a fire would be lit, a bonfire. The monks would gather around and discuss what they had studied that day. And if there was some doubt, they would bring a book very close to the fire to see what was written in the book and discuss that until the monks would fall silent around the blazing fire and slowly get up one by one and retire to their huts. And he says, I would meditate all night long. And next day, Swami Brahmananda has said that those who have nirvikalpa samadhi, they don't even need to sleep. That samadhi serves the purpose of deep sleep also. Until, Turiyananji writes, he says, I became afraid that will I lose sleep altogether? Sri Ramakrishna talks about a state where his eyes were open, he couldn't close his eyelids. And then he said, I tried to sleep. After 6 days of trying after 5 days of trying, at the end of the week, one day, the 6th day night, he got some sleep and I was so happy, half an hour I could sleep. For us, it's the opposite. We find we become easily overwhelmed by sleep. Swami Sarvapriyananda says about Swami Adbhutanandaji that he meditated at night and he slept sometimes at daytime. And he says this was like a literal demonstration of the Bhagavad Gita, the 69th verse of the 2nd chapter. Sri Krishna says to Arjuna, Arjuna had asked him, how do I know who's an enlightened person? And there are beautiful verses there from the last few verses of the 2nd chapter about Sthita Pragya, the one whose wisdom is stabilized. The question itself is very interesting. How do I recognize the one whose wisdom is stabilized? He doesn't say enlightened, Brahmagyani, Jivan Mukta. Wisdom is stabilized. Look at the complaints we have often. I understand Vedanta, but in the class, after the class I get confused again. So wisdom is not stable. I get it, but it gets confused again. Or I get it, but when life becomes difficult, I can't hold on to it anymore. Wisdom is not stable. It gets shaken. So enlightenment is characterized as stable wisdom. That same Vedanta which you have understood, which I have understood. What's the difference between us and say someone like Adbhutananda, the enlightened ones? For them, that is stable. That's a fact of life. That's reality itself. For us, it's something fascinating we have understood and inspiring. We want to aspire to that. For them, it's a life. It's fact. So wisdom is stable. And Sri Krishna gives beautiful answers there to Arjuna's questions. How does this one, enlightened one, the one of stabilized wisdom, how does this person meditate? How does this person walk around and talk and interact with others? And so on. And Sri Krishna gives beautiful answers there. One of the answers he gives is this. Ya nisha sarva bhutanam tasyam jagrati sangyami yasyam jagrati bhutani sa nisha pashyato munehe. That which is night to all beings, night, that which is night to all beings, there the one of self-restraint, self-control, the enlightened one awakes. And that which is day to all beings, which is daytime, the sage who sees, pashyato munehe, the sage who sees, to that sage who sees, that is night. The sage sees, but what does he see? It's night. What does it mean? What is day to them is night to us. And what is night to them is day to us. Or what is day to us is night to them, to the enlightened ones. What does it mean? Does it literally mean that now from now on to be spiritual you have to sleep in daytime and switch? And there are a lot of people working in call centers in India who are yogis then. They are awake at night because it's daytime in America. And what is nighttime in America is daytime in India. No, not literally. Yes, Swami Adbhutananda was exceptional that way. But if you see the others, whether Sri Ramakrishna or the Holy Mother or Vivekananda and others, it's not that they all switched their sleep schedules around and then became enlightened. Not really. They are more normal like rest of us. So what does it really mean? What does it mean? What it means is, Sri Krishna is telling Arjuna, the enlightened are not like us. There is a difference. There's a difference between a real saint and people who are merely trying to be spiritual or who want to be. There's a great difference. If you are fortunate enough to meet one such, you will feel it. They belong to a different category altogether. And there's the presence of the divine in them. So what is the difference? Their vision of reality is different from us. The way they experience the world and themselves is very different from the way we experience and understand the world and ourselves. Here, night and sleep means ignorance. Ignorance of the reality, of the divine reality, that there is one non-dual existence, consciousness, bliss. The ignorance of that is called sleep. And awakening from that sleep is called awakening. It's not falling asleep at night and getting up in the morning, or struggling very hard and switching it around so that you can fall asleep in the morning and get up at night. It's not really that. There, something has to be said. Even for that, the literal way of understanding this, there also something has to be understood. Why Sri Ramakrishna stressed, meditate at night and don't waste the night. The reason being, the philosophical side of it, the deeper meaning we will discuss now. But before that, if there is an overwhelming quest and passion in our lives, that will become real for us. The rest of the world becomes secondary, fades to the background. A research scholar told me that when they were doing PhD, the evening and the night were the time when they could work. And it's not an uncommon thing. They said that many PhD scholars, they have that same experience. So it's not that they are sleeping in the daytime. In the daytime they are doing their chores, they are going to do groceries and the paperwork and whatever administrative work has to be done. They are doing it. But it's the main work where their mind is concentrated, where their heart is concentrated. It's usually in the evenings and nights when everything becomes quiet and there's peace. For many hours you get that time. That's when they work. And so they said, we can understand. I can understand this shloka, this verse, that which is night to the ordinary people, it is day to that sage. And what is day to the ordinary people is night to the sage. In what sense? When everybody is the end of the day and it's time to rest, relax, recreation, TV, dinner, sleep. Here, my real work starts. I can be alone at peace for so many hours. And in the morning, when for everybody life starts, you have to get up and go to school or work or whatever it is, that is secondary. It has to be done. But my real work is where my mind is, my heart is. So anybody who has done research, who is a painter, who is a singer, who is a writer, any kind of creative work, research, scientific work, you have the feeling of this, that compared to others, when you are 100% single-mindedly pursuing something in science, in art, and in spirituality, then that becomes daytime to you. For the others it is as good as non-existing. But for you that is real, and that is daytime. And for the rest of the world, rest of your life, your day-to-day activities, those are there. You have to be there, you have to eat, you have to take a bath, you have to do exercise. Those things are secondary, pushed to the background. So it's like that flipping of what constitutes day and what constitutes night. It's flipped around. But let's take a deeper look. The first answer is, how does day become night and night become day? How are you always awake? In attention. What we are giving attention to. Workaholics could be out just earning a lot of money on Wall Street. But you see, till midnight, till 1 a.m., working. Why so alert and excited? The markets are open around the world. I'm working to earn more money. So that becomes reality, That becomes reality. And where the rest of the city is trying to sleep, that is secondary. So day and night are flipped. The crucial point I'm making here is attention. Where is my attention? Where is my heart? Where your heart is, there your treasure will be. So heart is there. So that's one way day and night are flipped. You are awake when everybody else is asleep. There's a beautiful depiction of Vivekananda in New York. It says he would meditate, especially at deep in the night. The line I remember most is, while the great city slept, Vivekananda meditated. And his meditation would be so deep, it would affect everybody else around him. Those who saw him, there's a small rented apartments where he stayed and conducted his classes. Sometimes we would walk silently through that apartment and suddenly come upon Vivekananda seated in the meditation posture there, deep in meditation. And we would slowly, softly walk back out of the room. So that kind of depth and stillness was created in meditation. So that's attention, deep attention. Deeper yet, Sri Krishna is saying that the enlightened ones, they have a completely different experience and vision of life itself, of reality itself. How so? What constitutes life, what constitutes reality to us in philosophical terms, if we are to put it in this way? There are these terms in Sanskrit which are very powerful. In just few words, you can describe the whole experience of life. What are these terms? One is pramata, prameya, pramana. The knower, the object of knowledge, and the instrument of knowledge. Look at our lives now. You are seeing and hearing. Okay. So you are the knower. In Sanskrit, pramata. And what you are seeing here is the object of prameya, the object which you are experiencing. And your eyes. Our eyes are the pramana, the instrument of knowledge. And this is our experience of life. I, the knower, deploying the eyes. The two kind of eyes, vertical eye and horizontal eyes. Deploying these eyes, I am seeing forms. I, the knower, deploying the ears, I am hearing the speech. This is my experience of life right now. I see, I hear, I smell, I taste, I touch. Pramata, pramana, prameya. This is one way. And based upon what I am seeing or hearing, I think, I remember, I try to understand, I feel, I like it, I dislike it, I get it, I don't get it. This is internal, but based upon what's going on in my prameya, in my objects of experience. So this is one. This is called triputi, the three elements. The knower, the known, and the instrument of knowledge. Another way of putting it. Karma, the karta, karma, and karana. I am the doer. I do stuff. It's not that I'm just sitting here passively like a couch potato knowing things. I do stuff. How do I do it? With my hands and my feet. I write or I type and I walk and I drive. With my tongue I speak. So I act. I am the doer of actions. Karta, I am the doer. Karma, the action that I'm doing. I'm speaking. I'm studying. I'm working. I'm driving. I'm cooking. I'm walking. I'm the doer of these actions. How do I do it? With these instruments, with the hands and the feet and the tongue, with my body basically and my mind and the speech. So by these instruments, I do actions. Doer, action, and instrument of action. There's another way in which we deal with the world. This constitutes our reality. And these are all different. Or another way, a third way of looking at the world. Consumer. I consume the world. How? I, the consumer. Sanskrit, bhokta. Food. Cookie. I eat a cookie. The cookie is the object of consumption. consumable. It's called bhogya, object of enjoyment. How do I do that? By what instrument? There are instruments called indriyas. The tongue is for tasting, skin is for touching. These are ways of enjoying, not only knowing. It's not that I'm just knowing it. When you're eating the cookie, what do you say? You say, I'm knowing the cookie. No, I'm eating the cookie. So when I'm enjoying something, consuming something, that's also with certain instruments of consumption. So, all of this, what I'm trying to say, is the way we deal with the world. I know, I experience or consume, I work, I act, I do things. Pramata, prameya, pramana. Karta, karma, karana. Bhokta, bhogya, indriya. And these are Sanskrit words for. All of them are based on difference. This is what is called day for people like us, for the world. What Krishna says, what is day to all beings? This is daytime. This is the world we inhabit. How is the enlightened one's worldview different from us? Vastly different. For them, the knower and the knowable and the instrument of knowledge, the consumer and the consumable and the mode of consumption, the experiencer, the doer and the instrument of doing and the action done, they are all one. They appear differently, but he knows underlying all of them is one limitless oneness, one radiant oneness. How does it make any sense? How can I, the one who is seeing with the eyes and seeing all of this, how can we all be one? How can I, the eyes of seeing and the whatever I see, how can they be one? That doesn't seem to be true. And if they are one, then how can one be the seer, the other be the seen, and another be the instrument of seeing? I am speaking. How can I, the speaker, and my speech, and the tongue with which I am speaking, how can we all be one reality? They are all different. But it's possible. One way of understanding this is our dream experience. Suppose you're walking out there in the park, and you're walking and you feel how beautiful it is. Look at the wonderful, the fading fall colors, how bright and beautiful and in this wonderful winter morning it is. And I am walking down and then suddenly you wake up and you're sitting in your bed. It was all a dream. Now if you are a Vedantin, you look back. If you have studied too much Vedanta, you look back upon your dream and analyze. So, I, who was walking down the pathway, and the beautiful fall colors, and the eyes with which I saw the fall colors, they were all just my mind dreaming. Was there actually a pathway with fall colors there? No, it was a dream. Was I actually walking down that path? Was I there actually? No, I was sleeping in my bed. It was a dream. Did I see? Here's a subtle question. In my dream, when I saw these beautiful fall colors, did I see with eyes? My eyes were closed. You saw with your mind, the dreaming mind. The fall colors there in that park in the dream were nothing but your dreaming mind. And you walking down and enjoying that stuff was nothing but your dreaming mind. True or not? True. You're with me here? It's a very simple example. This example we all understand. This is our experience. We never really analyze our dream that way. We just get up and say, oh, it was a dream. I was dreaming I was in the park. But if you analyze this, now the enlightened one sees this world right now, just like that. Not that the enlightened one does not see the world, sees the world. Not that the enlightened one does not see oneself as a body, as a personality, sees that also. Not that the enlightened one does not use eyes and ears, uses those also. But also knows the overwhelming fact that in one limitless consciousness, all of this is appearing. That oneness in which pramata, pramana, prameya are one. That oneness and that radiance in which karta, karma and karana are one. That radiance, limitless radiance, in which the bhokta, bhogya and indriya are one. That is day to the knower of Brahman. And it is night to us. We don't see it. We see only difference. We don't see that oneness. It is day to the knower of Brahman. And this world, with its concerns, with its fears and terrors and temptations, in which we are continuously involved, it is day to us. For the enlightened one, it is night. You see, it is terrible, or it is very tempting. The enlightened one will say, what is tempting here and what's terrible here? It is one limitless existence, consciousness, bliss. Yeah, I can see the appearance of it. But I am not shaken by it anymore. This is the daytime of the enlightened one and the night time of the enlightened one, the night of the enlightened one. And what is the term used for the enlightened one? Pashyato munehe. For the muni means the mananashila, the one who is contemplative, who dwells upon the wisdom so gained. We don't dwell upon it. We listen to lots of talks. We read lots of books. If you're a pandit, we'll memorize a lot of verses also. I can rattle them off. But do you dwell on it? Do you see the world through that wisdom? No. We are unmoved by it. We put it in one corner of our mind. Our life goes on as it is. And there's a storehouse of knowledge which I have got about Vedanta. No. Make that storehouse of knowledge, make it real. As one sadhu said, Prapt Gyan ka adar kare. That knowledge which is already acquired, learn to respect that knowledge. Learn to give it respect. Let it illumine your life. Let it be a fact. You will see magic happening then. Day and night will be switched. What is this vision? We will go into it a little bit. How we can switch the daytime of the worldly people become night to us, and the night time for the worldly people, or for the world which is the spiritual reality, Brahman, it becomes day to us. It is this. One Yoga Vasishta verse, it says so beautifully. It says, Aparoksha chidananda samrajyam madhunasmyaham. What happens when I'm enlightened? It says, this aparoksha, directly revealed, effortlessly revealed, chidananda, limitless bliss and consciousness, limitless bliss consciousness. Samrajyam, this is my empire, this non-dual empire. And this empire I am, it's not my empire, I am this empire. What is that empire? Which empire are they talking about? This world, this universe, which we deal with as difference. It's different from me. I am the pramata, this is prameya. I am the knower, this is the known. I am the bhokta, this is bhogya. I am the consumer, this is the consumed. Karta and karma. I am the doer and this is the action that I do. The enlightened one sees samrajyam. This is my non-dual empire. The whole thing is directly one with me. And that oneness is aparoksha, directly revealed, effortlessly directly revealed. It doesn't have to be revealed through eyes or ears. It doesn't have to be, it's not even a question of a theory which you read in a book. Those books are dispensed with. Vedanta says, Tatra Veda Aveda Bhavanti. Once you reach that state, once we attain to that, even the Vedas are no Vedas. You can dispense with them. Because if the sun is shining brightly, why do you need to read a book about the sun? It's there. It's so clear. So what is this vision? What Vedanta says, I'll try to put it in essence of what Vedanta is saying, and then we'll go a little bit deep into it. Our whole goal is to see that one reality which is always awake. So what does Vedanta say? Making it very philosophical, very minimalistic. Just a few sentences. It says, whatever we are aware of, we are not that. If you are aware of something, if you see something, hear something, smell something, taste something, touch something, think of something, remember something, do something, want something, hate something, if you experience anything, whatever you can, what you experience, whatever we can experience possibly, whatever we are aware of or whatever we can possibly be aware of, anything that is an object of awareness is an object. It's not us. It's not you. Then what am I? You are that which is aware of that object. And notice, it's a fact. It's just a simple reporting of our experience. I am aware of it. If I am aware of it, this one, then I am not it. What does it stand for? Anything at all in this universe. And most interestingly, even the body. Can I say that I am aware of the body? Of course I am. Especially if you have a tummy ache. If you go walk in the park outside and if you're not properly clothed, you will immediately be aware of the body. It will make itself feel, you'll start freezing. I remember in my early days when I first walked in the park here about 8 years ago, they began to know me. Even because of the dress, people recognized me. So I was obviously cold, and somebody shouted to me, "Layers, Swami, the secret is layers." The body will make itself aware to you, will make itself felt to you. That yes. So the body can be regarded as an it. I am aware of it. Look, notice, it's it. This, I can see it. I can hear it if my tummy is rumbling. I can touch it. I can smell it, taste it. The body is an it to me. If it's an it, then I am not the body. I am that which is aware of the body. Please see this. Let us try to see it as a matter of experience, as a simple fact actually. We never think in this way, but once we start thinking in this way, it's utterly obvious. So whatever I am aware of, that I am not. It's an object to me the awareness. I am awareness, and everything in the universe is an object to me. Whatever I am aware of right now, or whatever I can be aware of possibly, all of it. Some of it I can be directly aware, I can see it or touch it. Some of it may require extremely sensitive scientific instruments. Some of it will require inference and mathematics. But they are all objects which are presented to me, the awareness. This is step 1. Step 2. Only 2 steps. Step 2. In Advaita, the vision of Advaita, the day of the enlightened one. Step 2. Notice, all space and time and everything in the universe, all objects, they appear in me, the awareness. They are not something outside me, the awareness. A good way of understanding this is our dream experience. Imagine the dreaming of the park, walking in the park. Now if I say to you, when you wake up, is it not true that the entire space of the park was imagined in your mind in the dream? Yes. The entire time of the dream, that is a different time scale from the actual sleep time. That was imagined in you, the dream, you, the dreamer. And every object which you saw in that park in the dream was imagined in you, the dreamer. Therefore, in the dream space, the dream time, and the dream objects, they all existed in you or appeared in you. Didn't even actually exist. They appeared in you, the dreamer. Vedanta says, just like that in you, the one consciousness, appears all space, all time, and all objects. Because all space appears in you, and is nothing apart from you, the one consciousness, therefore, you, I, am all pervasive. In Sanskrit, Sarvavyapi. Because all time appears in you, therefore you are beyond time. See, there is a time scale in your dream. When you are dreaming about something, walking in the park, there is a time scale in the dream. Notice, you, the dreamer, do not belong to that time scale. Are you following with me? That time scale is a part of your dream, part of the simulation in your mind. You transcend it. You, the witness consciousness, you transcend time, the time of this universe. And therefore you are eternal with respect to that time. In Sanskrit, Nityam. And all objects, because they appear in you, the one consciousness, they do not constitute a countable second apart from you, the one consciousness. Again, use the dream example. Suppose you're walking in the dream and you saw 100 trees and a lake and the sky. And if you take an inventory, what all was there? 100 trees and the lake and the sky. And you yourself plus 1. But when we wake up, will we say that, yes, there are the 100 trees and the sky and the lake and I, the person in the dream, plus me, the waker? No. Only me, the waker. All those things appeared. I'm not denying it. I saw all that. But they do not constitute reality apart from me. They cannot be counted as a second reality apart from me. No second, non-dual. The dreamer is non-dual with respect to all the objects in the dream. You, the waker here, you, the one conscious, not even the waker, the one consciousness here, you are non-dual with respect to this universe. There is nothing, nobody, nothing here, no entity, no matter how tiny or how vast, no matter at what time in the universe, in the past, present, or future, nothing here constitutes a second reality apart from you. No second, non-dual, Advaitam. So you, the one consciousness, you are all-pervasive, eternal, non-dual, Sarvavyapi, Nitya, Advaita. This is what Vedanta says. This is the meaning of the Mahavakya. You are that, Tattvamasi. Now let's take a quick, deeper dive into this. Wasn't this deep enough? Now, the effort is to make it, not to introduce arguments or subtleties, it's to make it more real. We are not going into a speculative, philosophical exploration. We're actually going deep into it, what philosophers might call phenomenological, into our own experience. I'm going to quote from the great medieval Advaita master, Vidyaranya Swami. His great book, Panchadashi, 15 chapters on Vedanta. The first chapter, Shabdasparshadayo Vedya Vaichitrya Prithak Tato Vibhakta Tat Samvid Eikarupyadna Bhidyate. Beautiful verse. What does it say? Look at our experience. Our experiences are diverse. We see, and what we see is also so many. The objects which we see, people and colors and shapes and plants and trees and roads and buildings and sky and earth, the objects are many, diverse. And as the objects are diverse, the experiences of seeing, in Sanskrit, vritti, they are also diverse. The experience of seeing you is different from the experience of seeing you. The experience of seeing the chair is different from seeing the experience of seeing the carpet. Please follow what I am saying. The objects are different. You are different from him. But my experience of seeing you is different from my experience of seeing him. The carpet is different from the chair, no doubt. But my experience of seeing the carpet is different from my experience of seeing the chair. All right. So objects are different and the experiences of seeing these objects are different. But tato vibhakta tat samvit. The light which illumines all, that consciousness which gives us all these experiences, does not differ. As the objects differ, as our experiences differ, there is one light which illumines all our experience. That light does not differ. For example, there's so many of us here, and so many beautiful flowers, and the altar, and the pictures of the deities, and all of these are here. But there is one light which shines. I was talking about the physical light here. Just the light. Switch on one light, that light equally illumines everything. That light doesn't differ. I'm using that as an example for consciousness. What Vidyaranya Swami is saying, there is one consciousness, the one unchanging amidst all the changing objects, amidst all the changing experiences. That consciousness, that awareness, which you are. You are that awareness. You are that one consciousness. Unchanging among the changing objects and changing experiences. And without that consciousness, no experience will be possible. Suppose all of you go away from here, then I will see the empty room. But if that consciousness, suppose you say my eyes are closed, then I will not see anything at all. Or I'll see the blankness, but I'll be able to hear. I'll be able to smell or taste or touch. But suppose that consciousness goes away. What will I see? What will I hear? What will I think? What will I remember? Impossible. Nothing. Utter darkness. Go back to what Sri Ramakrishna said to Latu Maharaj. If God sleeps, the world will be plunged into darkness. God does not sleep. and non-existence. That we'll see a little later. So, there's one consciousness. And this one consciousness illumines every experience of our waking lives. That one consciousness you are. And when we fall asleep, this world disappears before our eyes and dream world comes. That is also illumined by the same consciousness. That consciousness does not flicker. And when the mind falls asleep finally, and no world appears before us, no world, nothing appears before us, deep sleep. This is called sushupti, deep sleep. Then also that one consciousness shines in the darkness. That is what gives us our experience of deep sleep. The experience of absence, not an absence of experience. If there is experience, consciousness must be there. It's a peculiar kind of experience, not like this at all. There, the mind has fallen asleep in deep sleep. The ego has fallen asleep. So there's nobody to claim, I slept. But there is an experience. When we wake up, we say, there was this gap where I seem to not have been, but I speak about it. Every culture speaks about it. In psychology you study, in physiology you study, deep sleep, deep delta sleep. So it's a phenomenon. And therefore it must have been experienced. It's a fact of experience. Experience of absence. So, Vidyaranya Swami says, Masabdha yuga kalpeshu gata gamyeshu nekadha nodeti nastametyeka samvid esha swayam prabha. Beautiful verse. He says, and so our days roll by. What are our days? One consciousness shining our waking life. Work life, family life, good and bad, childhood, youth, middle age, old age, all of it, one consciousness shining and revealing various objects, giving various experiences. And then night, dreams, one consciousness shining. In every night, few dreams come and go. And then deep sleep, one consciousness shining. And that's the story of one day. Next day, same story. Same story every day. Waking, dreaming, sleeping. What else is there? Same story every day. And then, months roll by, abda, years roll by, centuries roll by, millennia. You'll say, hold on, I'll be dead by that time. You won't be. Bodies die. The one consciousness, it shines. It says not only centuries, millennia roll by, kalpa, yuga, kalpa, eons roll by. Universes rise and fall. Nodeti nastameti. It neither rises nor sets. The sun of consciousness always shines. Always shining. Nodeti. Never rising or never set. What rises? That which has set will arise. That which has fallen asleep will wake up. But this is always awake. The sun of consciousness is always awake. That you are. Nodeti nastameti. Eka, this is one. Sri Krishna says, one in all beings. We have this trace of ignorance in our minds that, I sort of get it. I am not the body, not the mind. I am this one consciousness ever awake. And so there are so many bodies and minds. There must be one consciousness everywhere, ever awake. No. There is only one consciousness in all beings. Kshetragyam chapi mam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, 13th chapter, know me to be the knower of the field in all fields. There is only one consciousness shining through. You might say, what logic is there? I feel we are different. No, feeling is not argument. I said, okay, wise guy, give us your argument. Why? Notice one thing. I'll give you one peculiar, subtle but peculiar argument. It's this. Our waking experiences are all different. The way you are experiencing is different from the way I'm experiencing, the way he is experiencing, they're all different. Our dreams are also different. But our deep sleep is exactly the same. It can't be different. That which has no content except a uniform blankness, how can it be different? The deep sleep of all of us and of an elephant and a mosquito, Upanishad says, is exactly the same. Yes, even mosquitoes have deep sleep. We have exactly the same deep sleep. If at the level of deep sleep, it is the same for everybody, imagine the witness of the deep sleep. It has to be the same one. The experience of deep sleep is same, but the witness of this is not only just similar, but it is literally one. Just shining through many bodies and minds. Krishna says to Arjuna, explaining, avibhaktam cha bhuteshu vibhaktam iva cha sthitam. Undivided in all beings, appearing as if divided. This is that one consciousness which shines. The light that never sleeps. Always shining. If it slept, the world would be plunged into darkness. The Upanishad says, the light of lights, forever shining in our hearts. Tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. That shining, everything else shines after it. You, the consciousness shining, then your mind feels conscious. Your mind feeling conscious, your sense organs are lit up. And you get the conscious experience of seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, thinking, enjoying, suffering, waking, dreaming, sleeping. All of these are possible because you shine. You shining, everything else shines after that. Tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. By its light, everything here is lit up. By your light, everything here is lit up. That never sleeps. It cannot. Further, this is a deep dive into the first part of the Advaita teaching. What was the first part? Your awareness. Ever awake. Now deeper dive. This universe is also that same awareness. Because what we did in the first step is to separate ourselves. Are you with me? Walking with me? I'm always little people looking very seriously at me. Now, is it that, what's he talking about? When is this going to end? Or is it, get on with it, we are with you. We have heard this 100 times. The Tintin comics, I don't know how many of you have read. When we were little kids, we used to have Tintin comics. So there was this professor, calculus, and he is explaining nuclear reaction to Captain Haddock and others. So it's complicated how fission reaction happens. He's explaining. Then how many neutrons are released, and then what happens to those neutrons, and so on and so forth. Then he looks at the others who are all following. They're all puzzled. What's he talking about? And looks at them, and they're all walking behind him. So he says, are you following me? And they say, we are right behind you. Now, second step. How is the universe one with you? We can understand we are one consciousness. That also is sort of understandable. But this stuff seems to be outside me. They're all objects. Didn't you say they're objects and I am not them? I am apart from them. But the real thing is, yes, you are apart from them, but are they apart from you? The whole, what do you mean, you might say? The whole dream, whatever you see in the dream, you are apart from them. When you wake up, you are still there. But do they exist apart from you? What you saw in the dream, the trees and the plants and the people and the sky and the earth in your dream which you saw, does it still exist apart? When you stop dreaming, does it exist? No. They do not constitute a second independent reality apart from you. They are very much part of your conscious experience only. That one. Now we're going to take a little deeper dive. Now what have we got so far? This one consciousness in waking, dreaming, sleeping, and possibly through months and years and centuries and eons and whatever, one consciousness, ever awake, never sleeping, which enables us to have all experiences which we call life, even death. This consciousness shines through life and death. This is in devotional language when you say, abide with me in life and death. This one consciousness. It's not the phenomenal consciousness which we have right now. This will come and go. You put little anesthesia, it's gone. Again comes back. This flickers. This is what is the consciousness associated with the ego. In Sanskrit, in Vedanta, it's called chidabhasa, reflected consciousness, or the empirical consciousness, the limited. That comes and goes easily. When we die, physical death, it gets knocked out for a while, blank. It will come back again when some other embodiment or some other world experience comes. But pure consciousness always shines, even in the presence or the absence of that empirical consciousness. It is the witness of it all. Now, in this pure consciousness, there is the negation of 3 kinds of difference and 5 kinds of difference. What are the 3 kinds of difference and 5 kinds of difference? Swagata, sajatiya, vijatiya, bheda, rahita. What does it mean? This consciousness, pure consciousness, how many are there? Are there many such pure consciousnesses? So there's one pure consciousness and one more pure consciousness. When we get the example of water in all the waves, it's the same water in all the waves of the ocean. Someone might say, if you want to argue, not literally, Swami. The actual water in this wave and the water in that wave, they're separate. They're the same kind, but they're not literally the same. In philosophy, there's a difference between what is called type-token difference. Same type of thing, but the tokens are different. But in Vedanta, when we are saying it is literally the same consciousness, it's not another similar consciousness. Sajatiya bheda nisheda. What is sajatiya bheda? A mango tree is different from a fig tree. But one mango tree and another mango tree are also different. They belong to the same species, the same class, the same type, but they are 2 different instances of the same type. Vedanta says there are no 2 different instances of consciousness. There is only one consciousness. Krishna says, I am the one in all conscious beings. I am the one consciousness. Not various similar types of consciousness. No, one consciousness. And I'm not going into the arguments for each of them. They will take multiple classes. I'm just pointing out the conclusions. Then there's another kind of difference, which is vijatiya bheda. Yes, I understand one consciousness, you keep on going on and on about consciousness, but the important thing is, what is consciousness experiencing? This world, it's so diverse and so wonderful. We must concentrate on the world. Forget your Vedanta. Science we have to concentrate on. Science will reveal the differences in this world and tell us about this world, the objective side of it. And Vedanta says there is no objective side of it. Vijatiya bheda rahita. There is nothing other than consciousness. There is an appearance of the universe in consciousness. But that does not constitute a separate, independent, existing universe apart from consciousness. It is consciousness which is the reality of all the objects of the universe. Just like, again, dream example. In the dream, it is true. You, the dreamer, our dreaming mind dreams the whole world. And the world seems different from the dreaming mind. After all, there is a lake and forests and people. They're all different from me. But what is the truth about the dream? Whatever appears in the dream is nothing but you, the dreaming mind. Similarly, whatever appears is different from consciousness. All the objects is actually nothing but that consciousness. Vijatiya bheda rahita, devoid of any entity which is different from consciousness. Although it does not deny that something different from consciousness appears to consciousness. That is not denied. But they do not constitute a real countable entity different. Second, you can't count consciousness, then tree, plant, human being, animal, quarks, quasars. No. They are all in reality that one consciousness. That's the fundamental truth about them. Remember, all of science and the material relations, common sense, everything is maintained there. You can go on working with it. Like in a dream, like in a simulation. Just because it's a dream doesn't mean the car will not work and water will not quench your thirst. In a dream, you can drink water, eat food, feel satisfied. Everything can work except that it's a dream. Similarly, in this universe, everything will go on and science will also be valid. Except that underlying it all is this one consciousness without a second type of reality. No other reality apart from consciousness. And then the third kind of difference. Within consciousness are there differences. Like this is one body. But in this body there are many differences. There are hands and feet and head and a tummy. There are parts which are different from each other, though they constitute one. So yes, I understand one consciousness. But does that consciousness have hands and feet and tummy and head? No. It's a uniform consciousness. Swagata bheda rahita. There is no internal division in consciousness. Akhanda, indivisible. Consciousness does not admit of parts, of difference. Only an object can be so divided. The pure subject by awareness by itself cannot have parts. If anything has parts, it becomes an object to something. Anyway, there are many arguments which can go into it. But the point here is negation of 3 kinds of difference. In consciousness, there are no other types of consciousness. This, in devotional language, is the great truth proclaimed by the monotheistic religions. There is one God. What does it mean? It's a great truth. There is one ultimate reality. This is that one type of negation, that there is no second type of such consciousness. It's not that there are 2 gods, or 3 gods, or 100 gods, or 1,000 gods. There's one ultimate reality. Second, there is nothing apart from that ultimate reality. Nothing apart from consciousness. This is called Vijatiya Bheda Rahita. And that consciousness itself is also homogeneous. It does not have internal parts. So, 3 kinds of negation. Devoid of internal difference, devoid of external difference, devoid of difference of same type. Consequence, 5 types of difference are negated. Now we'll go into that. This is pretty easy now. The way religions speak about the world, dualistic religions, is there is a world, there's you the person, sentient beings like us, and the insentient world which we inhabit, and there is a God who controls this world, creates, preserves this world, and so on. Ishvara, Jiva, Jagat. Jiva, sentient beings. Jagat, world. Ishvara, God. Now, the dualistic religions all proclaim this. Those who are devoted to God, theistic religions. Jiva, Ishvara, Bheda. I'll quickly run through it. It's pretty logical. The difference between God and man, between God and sentient beings. They're different. God is different from us and we are different. The difference between Jiva and Jiva. We are all different from each other. The difference between Jiva and Jagat. You and the chair are different from each other. You are a sentient being, the chair is an insentient object. Jagat, Jagat Bheda. This chair and the carpet are different from each other. Insentient objects also are different from each other. And what else? Jagat Ishvara Bheda. The difference between this insentient world and God. God is different from the created world. Pancha Bheda. 5 types of difference. This is the heart of dualistic Vedanta, Dvaita Vedanta. Proclamation of Dvaita Vedanta. Ishvara Jiva Bheda. Difference between God and man. And God and sentient beings. Jiva Jiva Bheda, difference between individual beings like us. Jiva Jagat Bheda, sentient beings and insentient beings are different. Jagat Jagat Bheda, insentient objects are different from each other. Chairs and table are different from each other. And Jagat Ishvara Bheda, God and insentient things are different from each other. All common sense. All common sense. Advaita is uncommon sense. Not nonsense. Uncommon sense. Advaita says all of them are wrong. It denies the difference between God and sentient beings, denies the difference between sentient beings like us, denies the difference between sentient beings and the chair you're sitting on, denies the difference between insentient things, and denies the difference between God and insentient universe. He says there is only one non-dual reality. Appearing, yes, in appearance all differences are preserved. Of course we can see. We can clearly see. But he says it's an appearance. It's not the ultimate reality. Makes a difference between ultimate reality and relative truth. Ultimate truth, relative truth. Pancha Bheda Nishedha. Negation of five differences. It's a very interesting philosophy. One sadhu, he was debating with a scholar, a pandit, who was debating for duality, and the monk was debating for non-duality. And the scholar said, Pandit said to the monk, Mahatma ji, aap jo bhi boliye, dvait satya hai. Whatever you say, duality is real. That is real. That's what we experience. That's common sense, and that's the reality. Then the monk said, Dvait satya hai, wo to wo gau bhi janti hai. Pandit hai to koi nayi cheez bata. That duality is true. Even that cow knows, I am different from the grass, and therefore I have to eat the grass. If you consider yourself to be a pandit, tell me something new. Tell me something new. Something that is not obvious. What is the use of your great scholarship if you say that the grass and the cow are different and that's it? Even the cow knows that. So, Pancha Bheda Nishedha. And this is the teaching of Advaita Vedanta. That what appears to be different from consciousness is nothing but you, the consciousness, appearing to yourself as your empire. Yoga Vashishta. Samrajyam adunasmyaham. Right now, I am, what am I now after enlightenment? I am this empire of non-duality. My empire, I am the empire. And therefore, Ananda, bliss. The whole universe is one with you. Imagine the joy of that. What death can there be? Physical body dies, even that is not different from it. The body goes back to the elements which are one with you. That person is dead, my beloved person is dead. No, that person, that consciousness and you are exactly the same. You are that consciousness which appeared as that person. They are not dead. They are one with you. You are one with them. There is no darkness anywhere. Kahin koi jadta nahi. It is light and light alone. Aparoksha Anubhuti says, light is the enemy of darkness. But this Brahman, pure consciousness, is not even the enemy of darkness. Even darkness is revealed by pure consciousness. What is the story here? One man in the village, this is an old village story. In those days, lanterns were there. So rich man, he told his servant, hey you, go and take this lantern and place it wherever there is darkness. So in the evening, this man set out. After some time he came back, said, sir, I couldn't find darkness anywhere. Why? Because wherever he went with the lantern, no darkness. Light is the enemy of darkness. Light will never find darkness. The sun will never meet the night. But this pure consciousness is such that it illumines darkness also. Do you not experience the deep darkness of deep sleep? You go into a dark room, you switch on the light, darkness is gone. Don't switch on the light. The darkness, don't you see? To consciousness, even darkness is revealed. Even absence is revealed. Even the end of the universe, even death will be revealed to you, the consciousness. You are awake, you do not sleep, you do not die. The end of the universe. When the universe finally dies, heat, death or whatever happens, dissolution of the universe, that light of consciousness is still there. To it, the end of the universe is revealed and the next universe which will begin. In the beginning was light. It's not that the light came on in the beginning. The light was there forever. From the perspective of the universe, beginning. What was there? Oh, already light is there. That light you are. Put in another way, one monk put it this way. Ignorance is, what we call common sense? Advaita says that's ignorance. What is common sense? Jiva Veda, Jagat Satya, Ishvaro Anyaha. Sentient beings are many and we are all different from each other. Everybody else is an other to you. Vedanta says wrong. Here is the world, solid, real, apart from us. Vedanta says wrong. And yes, I am a devout man. I believe in God. There is God. Of course, different from me. I am different from God. God is different from me. Vedanta says wrong again. 3 great mistakes. To believe that we are many. No. We appear to be many, but we are one. Holy Mother, she says her last words. No one is an other to you, my child. Kyo par nai. Jagotta tomar. The whole world is your own. Learn to make everybody your own. It's literally true. It's not a nice thing to do. It's a fact. It's a fact that has to be recognized. When we dwell on, they're all different. Some are my own. And some are different from me. Some I like, some I dislike, some I'm indifferent to. This is called night for the enlightened one. This is daytime for us. This is called night for the enlightened one. And they are all me. They are all one with me. There's nobody who's different from me. That is daytime for the enlightened one. It seems like night to us. How can everybody be, even my enemy, even a person I've never known, ever, one with you, absolutely one with you. Because they are that one consciousness which you are. Jiva Bheda, difference in sentient beings, false. Difference in world being real, a real external world. No. It is that one consciousness, you the one consciousness, who appears as your own world, like a dream. And God is something separate from me. Yes, in devotional religion, that's better than nothing. Yes, one must have faith in a God who is separate, like a king ruling the universe. But Vedanta says, go forward. That night, I was reading that abide with me and lead kindly light. At the end, He prays that when my eyes will close, point to me the skies. When the dream of this vain earth ceases and the heavens come alive for me. But that heavens come alive for you is right now. It is continuously available to us. That sky, yadi esha akasha anandana syat. Taittiriya Upanishad says, who could kahanyat, kaf pranyat, who could breathe in, who could breathe out if this vast sky of bliss were not already there. And you are that vast sky of bliss. Ishvara is not anya. God is not separate from you, is not an other to you. Other beings are not an other to you. And the world is not a separate reality. It is your own manifestation. This, the Yoga Vasishta says, Samrajyam adhuna smyaham. Now I am this non-dual empire. And hence, all is bliss. Sarvam samichinam. All is right. All is set right. I wonder if your patience is exhausted. Can I take a couple of minutes more? There's something cute here which I would like to share. So this is a question, which is just a little addition to this. Always awake. I'll just share this and end. This is from a text called the Advaita Makaranda, written by Lakshmidhara Kavi. On the 10th, 11th, 12th verses, this question of always awake comes. He says, who sleeps, who awakes? Who sleeps, who wakes? Consciousness, ego. These are the two characters in our drama. Consciousness and ego. Now consider waking, dreaming, deep sleep. Make a matrix. Waking, dreaming, deep sleep. These are the rows. What are the columns? Ego, consciousness, samsara. Samsara, world. Waking. Ego is there or not? Right now? Yeah. Consciousness is there or not? Samsara? Yes. Dreaming. Ego is there or not? You can be a little more confident. It's very easy. Advanced stuff is already done, finished. Now it's all easy. So, in dreams, do you feel, I am seeing this, I am doing this, I am enjoying suffering? So, ego is there. Yeah. Is awareness there, consciousness there? No. Yes. No? Consciousness not there? Yes, there. And is samsara there, a dream samsara? No? In dreams? Do you have good dreams, bad dreams, happy dreams, sad dreams? So samsara is there. There is a dream samsara. When you wake up, you say, oh, thank God it was a dream. But in the dream, oh, very much so. Nightmare is there. So, samsara is there. Ego is there. Consciousness is there. Samsara is there. Deep sleep. Is ego there? No. Is samsara there? No. And the seed form may be there. It will come back again. But in the deep sleep, nothing. Consciousness? Yes. To whom does samsara belong? It is to the ego, not to consciousness. When the ego is there, samsara is there. When the ego is not there, samsara is not there. Consciousness is there all throughout. Now, somebody asked the question, why are you making this distinction between consciousness and ego? Isn't your so-called consciousness also part of the mind? Because that's where we feel it. There's a reflected consciousness there. It's a good question. Why are you positing a separate kind of consciousness? It's just an activity of the mind. So the way the question is put is very subtle. All right, wise guy. I'll look at your matrix and say, wait a minute. Deep sleep and consciousness is there. Yes. So deep sleep belongs to consciousness. Will you admit that? Deep sleep belongs to consciousness. If you do admit that, whose property is deep sleep? Consciousness. In that case, why not also admit that dream and waking also belong to consciousness, and therefore samsara also belongs to consciousness? That's how we normally experience. Call it ego or consciousness, it becomes immaterial then. So it will push us back to that worldly that perspective. From going towards day, it will push us back into night again. And the answer to that is very brilliant, which shows you the independent nature of consciousness, that waking, dreaming, sleeping belong to the ego, not to consciousness. Even deep sleep belongs to the ego. Very nice verse. Supto suptim na janati. Supto suptim na janati. Na supte swapna jagaro. Jagrat swapna sushuptinam. Sakshato ahamatadashaha. Supto suptim na janati. Brilliant insight. It says that the sleeper can never experience the sleep. Why? Because it's fallen asleep. That is sleep. The sleeper never experiences the sleep. Therefore, what experiences the sleep is not the sleeper. It is awake even in deep sleep. Ego fell asleep. That is what we call deep sleep. That's why we never have the experience, I am sleeping, I am waking. We all experience now, hopefully. Or we experience, I am dreaming. That also, later when we wake up, some experience will be going on. But all those experiences stop. The ego also is gone with that stopping. It does not say, now everything has stopped, I am in deep sleep now. No. Then you are not in deep sleep. So the ego does not experience deep sleep. Supto suptim na janati. The sleeper does not experience sleep. Because it's sleeping. Therefore, and then it says, the non-sleeper, the ever-awakened, does not experience waking and dreaming. Why? Very beautiful logic. It says, so the ego has fallen asleep. That is deep sleep. That's what we call deep sleep. Then who wakes up? The one who sleeps alone will wake up. The one who never slept will never wake up. Waking is waking from sleep. It's the ego who wakes up. And therefore, fill in the blanks, it's the ego who dreams. The ego who wakes up, the ego who dreams, the ego who falls asleep. For the non-sleeper, there is no waking and dreaming also. It is equally the witness of waking, dreaming, sleeping. These all belong to ego, and samsara belongs to ego also. The witness consciousness is ever free of samsara. Where is samsara? Ego and its waking, samsara. You are the witness of it. You are free from it. Where is samsara? Ego and its dreams, samsara. You are the witness of it. You are ever free from it. Where there is no samsara, ego sleeping, deep sleep, no samsara. You are the witness of it, ever free from it. That ever free from samsara, always awake, always shining, the light of lights, that you are, that I am, that God is. That abide with me is forever fulfilled there. I pray to Sri Ramakrishna, Ma Sharada, Swami Vivekananda, and all the great masters and prophets and avatars of the ages, and all the great saints of the ages, we have referred to some today. May their blessings are always upon us. Let us be blessed. Let this wisdom come to us in this life. Let it become stable in this life. Let it be a light in our lives, and let our lives be also a light to others. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.